You don't know? You damn sure should know. I am Rag Reynolds, and today I just want to talk about this pretty cool app that I've been using. And no, I am not being sponsored. I wish I was being sponsored to talk about apps or whatever, but no, I'm not being sponsored to talk about this app. This app's called Dream Journal Ultimate, and I've been using it for about 5-6 months now. I'm very intrigued by sleeping and by dreams, by lucid dreams, just remembering dreams in general. I think it's a very interesting and amazing thing. I wanted to start remembering my dreams, because I can never remember my dreams. Most people can't. You wake up in the morning and you maybe remember a few details, and as the day goes on you forget it and you never think of it again. So from everything I read online, I saw people talking about the best way to do it is as soon as you wake up every morning, have a dream journal and write down anything you can think of. Even if it's just 1 or 2 words, key phrases, 1 sentence, location, who's there, anything you can, the slightest amount of information, just write it down. So I was going to start doing that in the Notes app on my phone. And then I discovered this app called Dream Journal Ultimate. And what this app does is it allows you to keep a dream journal inside the app. So you set an alarm through the app as well, and it reminds you every day to type in your dream journal and to write whatever the dream was you had the night before. So I've got a bunch of dreams already in the app, but my favourite feature of the app, and the reason I'm making this video, is because there's a whole section called Dream Wall, and it's basically a social feature where you can read other people's dreams. Now, you don't have to let everyone else see your dreams. You can keep all your dreams private if you want to, but there is the option of letting other people see your dreams and they see them through a username that you've created, and you can tag them whether they're adult dreams, whether they're whatever. So I just wanted to read out to you a few of the craziest dreams that I've read on this app. Now I want to start off by reading, this is the top rated dream on the entire app, and it is titled, I stabbed somebody with a bagel. And it goes like this: I literally stabbed somebody with a bagel. That's it. I was an old woman eating clothes. I was literally an old woman eating a pair of pants. I was sitting in a rocking chair eating pants. Every time I took a bite, it made a big crunch. My whole dream was just me eating pants. It was awkward from how long the dream was. I was just eating pants, just eating pants. Harriet Tubman was sitting in a rocking chair eating my bowl of mayonnaise next to a butter churn in my living room, intently watching The Real Housewives of Fargo, ND. I also remember being really concerned about dry sandwiches, so I started cleaning my room thinking that it would solve the problem. I don't fucking know. I had this weird dream that I was at this underwater place fighting these people, but then I realised I could freeze and reverse time. So I froze it and I went over to these other people that said they wanted to try something with me. So I was like, okay. This guy came over and wrapped his arms around me and started feeling all over it. And it felt really good, almost real. Then they said you might be scared, but we all have tentacles. And I said, no, that doesn't scare me. There was like 6 of them, and one of them was a little floating ghost, but all of a sudden these huge tentacles came out of all of them, and they started lifting me into the air and wrapping around me. I was super turned on, and the tentacles just started rubbing me at first, which got me really wet, and then they took off my clothes and started going in all holes. All holes. It felt really good, and they kept going faster and rougher each minute. There was like a huge cave around us and water everywhere that was sparkling, and it was really pretty. Then I realised it was too nice, and I started wondering if I was dreaming. But then I said I didn't care, because it felt so amazing. I figured out I could control everything, and I made them all go even faster, and these smaller ones were licking me everywhere, and it was so nice. I woke up really wet and kept trying to fall back asleep. LOL. I had a dream my mum married a cockroach, and I hated him and didn't want anything to do with him, and he kept trying to win my love and acceptance with balloon animals. All I remember from this dream is learning that God's real name was Kef. As far as fish go, I was known to be an absolutely gorgeous fish, or at least that's what all the male fish thought. One day I was swimming gracefully around an underwater trampoline on an underwater grassy lawn. I could hear something come up behind me. I just turned around to find a male octopus stalking me. Just as I was about to race off, he reached out and grabbed me with his tentacles. I yelled and thrashed, but no one was around to hear or see me. He covered my mouth with one of his tentacles and prodded and touched my body with the rest. And I relaxed, letting his silky and pleasurable touch overwhelm me. I was helpless when he began to have sex with me. It felt so good, I swear. I actually groaned in my sleep. When I woke up, I almost wish it hadn't ended. Shreksperience 2, Electric Boogaloo. 'Twas a warm day in the swamp. I was laying by the swamp water when I smelled the pungent odour of onion. Shrek rose out of the water in slow motion, and he was naked. I felt an erection coming on. I waded into the swampy water. Shrek tore off my clothes. Shrek wrapped his big arms around me. I winced as his big green dick penetrated my screctum. It hurt so much, but I loved it. Shrek finished up, but it wasn't ogre yet. Shrek picked me up and carried me to his swamp house. There he chained me to the table and strapped wires to my nipples. He electrocuted my nibbles while shoving blind mice up my butthole. I woke up in a hot sweat with jizz all over my bedsheets. My giant pet spider walks across the floor to my smaller pet spider and begins to eat it. I'm really upset, but I can't stop it once it started. A small child, watching these events unfold, begins to cry. I try to console him, when my brother tells me that the boy has actually been at his mother's own funeral that very day. He continues to cry, and my brother tells me that the boy sang a song in front of the entire crowd at the funeral. This small child goes on to tell me that he has learned the meaning of life. I ask him what it is, and he simply replies, Princess Leia. I'm floating in space watching Bill Nye's head spin around in a circle. I tell Bill to grow a body, and he does. Now I tell him to start the music, and he directs an invisible symphony. Bill directs the 1812 Overture. As the music goes on, all the planets in our solar system explode in sync with the music. All I remember was going to a water park and getting cuts all over my legs. The guy that offered to pick me up yelped, Ow, what was that? My mother, why is my mother around me and a guy? Hello. Proclaims that it's just lemon juice. Because I'm cut, everyone just, oh, of course. Oh, she's bleeding lemon juice. That's totally normal. So my sister says, put her down, what the hell? That would hurt. You can't carry her. Even though I'm the one with the cuts, how does the lemon juice affect them? In retaliation, the guy stares, I'd carry her, and I will. To which I swooned, and I don't remember anything else. It was weird. My grandma is racist, so I had a dream that she was a member of ISIS. They had these UFO planes, and she was in them flying around and shooting black people. And I'm gonna end off this video by reading you a dream I had a few months ago that I just read and remembered about. It's very tame compared to most of my dreams. Usually I have nightmares all the time, but this one wasn't a nightmare and it was just a bit strange. So here we go. I was travelling around the world for what I thought was 30 days, but I found out it was for 6 months when I was gone. It was a competition and the other teams were racing to be the first to do it. I was with a group of strangers on a boat and I only had £30 with me. I was dragonborn, and I could shout with unrelenting force at my enemies on the other boats, so long as I used a certain mouthpiece. I have some images in my head about what was actually going on there, but honestly I have no idea what the fuck I was thinking and why I was dreaming about that. But yeah, this app, it's pretty cool, so I would recommend downloading it. Keep track of your own dreams, see if you have any crazy dreams, write them down. I mean, I'm looking through my dreams and really it does help to jog your memory, and the more you do it, the more you actually end up Shut up, Snapchat, shut the fuck up, Hannah, I do not give a fuck. So yeah, it would be cool if you just download that, see what kind of dreams you can record down, write down, and maybe you do it already, maybe you keep a dream journal. If so, then leave in the comments, tell me about a fucked up dream or something you've had. Have you used an app like this? Tell me about your favourites that I just read out. And until next time, everybody, you can check out some of my other videos on screen now. You're welcome, society.